to talk about public opinion and how that relates to politics. Now, public opinion is the distribution of the population's beliefs about politics and policy issues. And if you live in a democracy, and theoretically the government gains its power by being responsive to the people, it's important to know what the people think and what they want. Now, one of the challenges in America particularly is the demography of America. We are possibly the most diverse country on the planet, with people from all over the world of all different races and cultural backgrounds, religious beliefs and everything else here in America. So we have to understand our demography. Demography, of course, is the study of statistics about population. In order to get an understanding of who we are as Americans, and more importantly to figure out how many representatives each state gets, the Constitution laid out that every 10 years we would conduct a census. That is to say, we would count everybody. This is a valuable tool for understanding population changes. The racial breakdown, not only of the country, but of any individual zip code, for example, or in terms of age, where are young people living, where are old people living, what is the population of any given county or state like. This is all determined by demography. Also things like income, numbers of children, these sorts of things show up in the demography of the country. We're an immigrant society. Everybody in America, almost, can trace their ancestry back to immigration. There were three great waves of immigration. The Northwestern Europeans. This is the original European immigration to America. We're talking about places like England, of course, France, Germany, places like this. And then in the middle of the century, a massive wave of immigration from Ireland. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, we see, of course, the huge immigration from the southern and eastern European nations, places like Italy, Poland, Russia, and in that part of the world will come here in huge numbers. And really, since about World War II, we've seen an enormous immigration from Latin America and really post-1960s from the Asian countries as well, be that East Asia like China and Japan and places like this, South Asia like India and Pakistan, or Western Asia like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, places like this. America is a melting pot. It is a place where many, many different cultures have come together, where their ideas have interacted with each other to create something new. And this, of course, has changed the American nation. Whether you look at the way we dress, our food, our language, our music, all of these things can trace their roots back many, many different directions to lots of cultures around the world. We are becoming a minority-majority country. And in fact, Texas, I believe, is already or is very soon to become a minority-majority state. This means that basically white people make up less than half of the population. So the majority of people are actually a minority. So here we have a sense of the, I guess it hasn't happened nationwide yet, but of the approaching situation where fewer than half the country is considered to be non-Hispanic white. Lots of different groups, of course, make up this history of immigration in these different cultures. African Americans, who, as I think you're well aware, have faced a long history of racism and discrimination and being disadvantaged in this country. Hispanics are the largest minority group and growing rapidly, and still deal with issues revolving around things like illegal immigration, of course, racism. Asian immigration has been driven by a new class of professional workers. It says, whereas many Hispanic immigrants come here with little education, looking for work, looking to better themselves, a large chunk of the Asian immigration of this country are actually going to be people who've already been educated and are coming to America to apply those skills and make a better living. Of course, Native Americans aren't immigrants, but they are severely disadvantaged, and in fact, if you look at the statistics, they're the worst off minority group in all of America, with things like the highest rates of unemployment, alcoholism, suicide, very low levels of education. Native Americans, despite the fact that they got here first, probably face the most difficult challenges. This is a cartogram, and what it's showing is each state, if you were to make its population a size relative to its population. And so what we can see is back in 1940, The northeastern part is very bloated, as well as the Midwest, right? But look what's happened. It's come down here to the southwest and Florida, from the Rust Belt, which is what they call this area up here in the Midwest, down to the Sun Belt, which is what they call this area where Texas, California, and Florida are, where the weather's nicer. Well, this has also dramatically changed politics, as people who care about the issues that matter to the Northeast are becoming less important, and the issues that matter to the Southwest and the South and Florida have become more and more important. And so this has a major impact on our policy and our government and how it works. So there it is, population shifting from east to west. And one of the things it's meant is things like electoral votes and how many members each state gets in the House have changed dramatically too. So today, Texas and California are the giants in terms of the Electoral College and the House of Representatives, whereas in the past that would be places like New York and Pennsylvania. America's getting older. The fastest growing age group is those over 65 years of age. This, of course, it changes. First off, their attitudes are much different. I've talked a little bit in class about the sharp age divide on issues like gay marriage or the legalization of marijuana. But as the country gets older, as the death rate declines and people live longer and longer, the older generations have more and more impact on our political system. Of course, it doesn't hurt that they vote in large numbers. Another thing that's happening is programs that are there to help the elderly, whether it be Social Security or Medicare, are being put under a lot of strain. And this statistic here is fascinating. In 1942, there were 42 people in the workforce for every retiree, meaning those 42 people were having to pay the benefits to that retired person. By 2040, there will be 2 workers per retiree. That's when I'm going to be retired, so y'all better work hard. That means for you guys, every 2 of you will have to make enough money to then support a retiree, if nothing changes, that is.